You went to a major metropolitan area, you had a private client, and you were talking about mindset training. You
Yep.
brought them into a rough neighborhood. We'll just call it a rough neighborhood.
Yep.
And you want to talk? I mean, I don't know anybody that's doing that. And that's probably the single, most informative reality check that you can give somebody is to put them in a situation like that and be like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. So, very fortunate that this person had access to a home that was similar to theirs. So they were in a real estate business, and they had a vacant home that we could use for training. And it was with real guns, no ammo, dry fire, but it was how to walk around their house. What are the dead spots in their house? What should I be concerned about? How can I effectively, and it had furniture in it, how can I move around my own house efficiently and effectively? So, and I went through the whole thing about it's your house, and a lot of people don't know their house to the extent that they think they know. Lights are out, and it's dark, and now walk around your house with the lights out. Then what do you have as a fire? If it's a firearm, then what do you have on your firearm to be able to use the sights? Iron sights, illuminated sights, red dot sights, whatever it is. And I had several for them to look at in their scenario. How to effectively move toward a threat inside of a confined space like a home. A lot of the things that I was able to convey and display for this client was, it's not always, a straight line from point A to point B is the best way to go. It's like, a circumvented route to open up their view and to stay away from the threat as much as possible.
Yeah.
You don't have to always close a threat. That was the main thing that person thought, is they have to close the threat with that person. It's like, well, you have a sidearm, it's plenty distance. That sidearm can reach that distance, so that's the distance you're working with. And that's what I was able to convey to that person, which then kept them a little bit more calm, because I was a little bit of anxiety to think about, I got to close the threat, or close the distance with the threat that somebody's in my house, I don't know who it is, and now I have to close the distance with that person. So that was another thing they initially thought. And I gave them another avenue to stay away, keep distance, and still move through the house and clear it, make sure it was safe.
Can we paint a scenario to that real quick? Because I don't think a lot of people listening are going to understand what you're saying. So let's bring it into like a hallway scenario where maybe you're peering out of a room, and I'll let you explain it. But you don't when it comes to closing the distance, you don't always have to do that, and I'd like you to explain a little bit more on why.
Yeah. So this person had a 2-story home. All the bedrooms were upstairs, and this scenario was late at night. Everybody's in bed asleep, and this person, they have a home invasion situation. He wanted to know, one, should he carry a gun? What are the processes he needs to go through? So initially it was planning and describing to his family members. He had 3 children, I believe, and his wife. And he just telling them, so I how to convey to them that if this happens, if somebody comes to the house at night and it's not one of us, and this is what we're faced with, this is what I want you to do. Whether it's stay in a room. He had a room that was consolidated. 2 of the kids were in one room. One kid goes, the older kid was going to go with the other 2 kids. Hunker down there. Wife is going to go over there and then get accountability. So that was the first thing, right? Tell the family what to do. And that was freeing his mind of, okay, now I got to deal with the threat. My family knows what to do. They've rehearsed it. They've gone through it over and over. And that was the first step. And then so if they're on the second floor, does he even have to go downstairs? And what should he do first, right? Well, 911. He's in the States, so that's the first thing you do, 911. And then he said, well, that ties up my hand with the phone now. I said, well, just turn it on. Just make the call, put it on speaker. And if you have a pocket, put it in a pocket and just leave it there. Leave your phone on and talk through the speaker. Or don't even worry about the speaker if it's too much. Just leave it on. They can hear you, and somebody's rolling. That was the big thing. Get somebody rolling, law enforcement, to your location. And then speak openly Like you're speaking into the phone, you don't have to have it up to your head or have earbuds in or anything like that. Just speak normal language, or speak softly into it if you don't want to conceal your or disclose your location. But accountability of your folks, 911, accountability of your family, they're okay, and now what? So I went from top of the stairway. This could be your limit of advance. This could be as far as you go, and you make the decision whether you need to go downstairs or not. What are the things that you need to be concerned about if you want to go downstairs or not? You can stay there and defend your second floor because they have to come up if there's a threat. They have to come up, and if that's what they want to do, you're there to meet them, right, and take care of the threat. But why go downstairs to begin with?
Yep.
So that was the first. That was like one major decision point, and because he originally thought I got to go down there and address the threat. It's like, no, if they're down there and you already know your family's safe, then what else do you need to do? The cops are coming whenever they come, and this particular place, it was a fairly lengthy response time because of where they were at and the police department in the area and all that stuff. And then all the other things that are going on now. So what's the priority? You don't know their priority on the call out, on who they're sending, when they're sending them, but you made the call, somebody's coming. So you could just hold your ground right there. Then we went through, okay, now if he has to go downstairs, how would he move downstairs? So best case, hold your ground right there. The police are coming, my family's safe, that's all I need to do. Let whoever it is downstairs do whatever they're doing and leave, if that's the case. Your family's safe, that's all you're concerned about. Stuff is stuff. And if you're concerned about something downstairs, if somebody's downstairs, one of your family members, or you have guests that are in a guest bedroom downstairs, which he had, then okay, that's a reason to go check on your guests. But also knowing their sleep habits. Do they get up in the middle of the night and go get a drink of water or have to go to the bathroom at night? If you have guests in your home, know that.
Yeah.
Know their sleep habits. Because that could be all it is. And if their decision was to go downstairs, then how do you go downstairs at night when the lights are out without turning all the lights on? Or turn the lights on? That's another decision they have to make. It's really common sense stuff, but unless you go through it, step by step, and then have them ask questions. And I posed all the questions that he asked back on him, right? I was like, oh yeah, well, what would you do? You're in the situation right now. With that situation you just described to me, what would you logically do? You don't have to be difficult. You don't have to refer to any movies that you've seen. What would you do? What makes sense to you? And then just act on it. Trust your instincts. All those things. He could be scared. There could be a little fear going on. All right, well, that's normal.
Yeah.
That was one thing I told him. It's like, well, that's going to be normal. Your kid might be yelling, they're going to be concerned about your safety. So consider that. Maybe you're still within eyesight of your family and your concerned family members for you. And if you disappear downstairs, then now they're more concerned. Now you have other issues to worry about. So it's not always go to guns and direct action, commando raid your house and clear it. Maybe, probably not. If you have the house to enable those kind of things, accountability of your people, and then that's it. Wait for the police to arrive.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.